Hi, this is James Governor from Redmuck. We're here for another What Is How To video, and today it's about edge management and IoT device management. And joining us today is Dimple Bhatia from GE, and she's going to tell us a bit about what the edge is, and particularly what Predix Edge Manager is. So hi, nice to see you, Dimple.
Hi, James. Hi, everyone. I'm Dimple Bhatia. I work in the Predix Edge Manager team. So today I will give you an overview of the Predix Edge Manager, its features, and also a demo of it. So let's start with first, what is the edge and, the edge computing software. So if you think about in the context of industrial Internet of Things, you have a variety of assets, like your machines, your wind turbines, windmills that are generating tons and tons of data. And the edge is the computing infrastructure that exists close to these sources of data. So what we have at GE, in order to support this is, the Predix platform, which is a platform as a service. It is an application and services platform, and it spans both the cloud and the edge devices. And then within the Predix platform, before I go to the Edge Manager, we have Predix Machine. So Predix Machine is not hardware, but it's actually software that's installed on the edge devices. And it enables, the deployment of software updates, packages, Docker containers on the edge devices. So now let's move on to Predix Edge Manager. So Predix Edge Manager is an application that is part of the Predix cloud. It interacts with the Predix machine. So, in terms of pushing software updates, or whether it's applications, configurations, it all happens via the Predix machine, because the Predix machine is the software that's installed on the devices.
Great.
And the Predix machine supports different kinds of adapters. I know you have just Modbus adapter, machine adapter here, but it supports other adapters as well. So next, I'll talk about the features, the key features the Predix Edge Manager supports. So as I mentioned, this is a cloud-based application that is your single pane of glass, right, to your edge devices, of course, via Predix machine. So, you can view the alerts if your devices are online or offline. You can upload configuration packages or even Docker containers into Edge Manager and then deploy them, from the cloud. We have the ability to filter and group devices. So, for example, you may group all of your North America devices into a group called North America, and then Europe would be another group. And when I actually go through the demo, you will see how that enables you, to view whether it be the deployments or the alerts for that specific group of devices. So filtering, is an important capability here. So why would you use Predix Edge Manager, right? So you have many assets or machines that are geographically dispersed in remote locations, right? And so what would you do? You would basically install Predix machine onto those devices because you want to be able to monitor those assets and run analytics on it. And once you have installed Predix machine, then you would basically log in into Edge Manager and be able to monitor the status, alerts, and push the software updates.
Okay,
and
fantastic.
All this is to significantly reduce the downtime on your assets.
Okay. Which obviously from GE's perspective is well, it's the be all and end all, right? Every asset has a cost associated with downtime, so you want to minimize that as far as you can.
We typically start with the device manager page, right? So you've installed, in fact, I have install Predix machine on my laptop, and I have it running. So once I've done that, I would come to the device manager page and add a device, right? So, for example, you would say, okay, this is a test device. You're going to give it some unique device ID. And then, of course, we have some pre-built device models, right? So each device is associated with a model, and we have some pre-built device models. Of course, you can add your own and then assign, a technician to it. So you can see we have, a lot of technicians here. And the next is, you would basically, let's see here. So, and of course, because we use certificate-based enrollment, we would basically specify a secret for that.
Mm-hmm.
The next step is you can assign services. Like time series is a good example to these devices.
Sure. Time series super important in IoT in terms of monitoring and getting
Absolutely.
a view. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So in the interest of time, I have already, and once you've added a device here, then you would go to the Predix machine web console to actually enroll the device. And once the device has been enrolled, then you come back to the Edge Manager, this device manager page, and you would see that that your device is online.
Okay.
Right?
But generally, you'd have a lot more. This is a demo.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, you'd probably have quite a big fleet. How many devices would we be talking about in the sorts of engagements that you're involved in?
So, we are actually targeting, to scale up to, millions of devices,
Okay.
right? So it could be in that range.
Okay. Okay.
And then, so here actually, let's go back here. So I mentioned about the filtering capability. So we can filter devices. These are the different device attributes that you can filter by. So right now, of course, because I'm interested to see which of my devices are online, so I can demonstrate the deployment of some packages to you. So I have, filtered on the devices that are online. And of course, you can add multiple filters here. You're not restricted to just a single filter here. And then you can save these filter sets, right, for reuse later on. And then you can also group these devices. So let's go to the groups section next, where I have some pre-created groups again, but I can add a new group here, right? Or I can call it a demo group. And like I was saying, you could basically, group your devices according to location or other attributes that you want to be able to group by. Device models, again, these are the pre-created device model, but you can also add your own device model here. And let's go back to the device manager page. We talked about the ability to filter devices. Now, the next thing that I want to show is the operations that you can do on these devices. So we have different types of packages that we can deploy. It could be as simple as software packages. We can execute commands and even deploy Docker containers. So let's actually try. So once you click actually on a specific device, then you can view the details about this device. So you can see, all the different attributes, whether it has the Bluetooth, VPN connectivity. And then if, since already some packages were deployed to the specific device, you can view the history of that as well. So you can see, this configuration package was deployed to it in terms of the software. This particular package was deployed and when it was scheduled, when it started, when it ended, and you can also download the execution logs to kind of view. We also have BOM, which is billing of materials. Now, billing of materials, what it does, it eases, instead of deploying one package at a time. It enables you with basically just a JSON file that you upload, which specifies the packages that you want to deploy. So it could be, that your BOM consists of an application, type and a configuration type, and also, so you could have multiple of that, and it will basically automatically go and deploy them.
Okay.
And the other ability is also to execute commands. So we can actually, let's go and we can actually redeploy this BOM so that we can see what happens once you click on deploy BOM. Okay, so you select this, and the other ability is to be able to schedule this. So sometimes you may not want everything to run immediately, and you want to schedule it at a later date and time. So we have that ability as well. So now, I've gone and selected, and the deployment status is pending. And as it, progresses, you will see that it goes from pending to in progress, and then eventually whether it's succeeded or failed. So where do you view the status of your operations, right? So that's on the operations page, and we've kind of segregated. So once you deploy, whether it's a configuration or software, you can view the details under the deployment history section. When you execute commands, you will be able to view the history under the command history section. So now, remember, you could be doing this to a large, to basically not just one device, but of course, to a large number of devices.
Okay.
And then for each device, you will be able to see what was the status, right? And when the execution start, details, time, as well as the execution logs. So now that we've seen the deployment of configuration software and the BOM, the next thing I would also want to show is we again have a list of predefined commands. Users can add their own commands with parameters that will be passed in, when the command is executed. But we also have a list of predefined commands. And let's just take a simple command like the get log, right? If you want to execute that. So again, it goes off, kicks it off asynchronously, and then it actually brings you back to the page where you can view the details of the command that was executed on the devices. So the last feature that I do want to talk about here is alerts, right? So you do want to know when your device is online, offline, right? We have that ability. And we also have for the devices that have VPN connectivity status and cellular strength, you can view the status of that alerts too. Now we have, kind of a predefined filter. Of course, you can basically filter. So in addition to filtering the devices, and I do want to mention that the filter that we applied on the device management page is actually a global filter. So as you navigate through each of these sections, that same filter is applied. So when we went to the operations, you were viewing the operations only for those devices. And the same would be, for the alerts. And alerts have their own attributes that you can filter by. But you can see, when the device goes from online to offline, an alert was generated. And because the device came back online again, the alert is now closed. So, the different states of the alerts are, from open, to acknowledge is when, somebody has actually seen the alert, acknowledged it. And then, of course, that's the whole purpose, is to send the technician there and, fix the issue that was raised by the alert. And then in the end, when the problem has been fixed, the alert is automatically closed.
Okay, cool. Great. Okay, so we've got the ability to trigger things, deploy, manage, watch the state of the devices. Great. Well, I don't know if there's anything else that we need to know about, but really appreciate the demo today.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Dimple, and nice to talk to you.
My pleasure. Thank you, James.